ठीक है, होपफुली द स्क्रीन इज विजिबल. दिख रहा है ना तुम लोगों को स्क्रीन?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
ऑल राइट, ठीक है. So the first unit is, we are starting with the second unit, that is pharmacopoeial standards and testing procedures. If you guys have any doubt when I'm like teaching or something, you can just hold it, and in the middle I will ask you if you're having any doubt, so that we will just clear it off. All right. ठीक है. So subtopics that are included in this unit are introduction to WHO guidelines, introduction to different pharmacopoeias that we will be dealing with, and specified tests in monographs with respect to liquid formulations and solid dosage forms. Okay, starting with introduction to WHO. Now, since this pandemic has happened, we all are very much aware exactly what WHO is, right? It is the World Health Organization, a specialized agency of the United Nations, and is concerned with international public health, right? It doesn't deal with only one particular country or a continent, but it deals with the entire planet, all the countries that are present, especially the ones that are its members. Okay, established on 7th April 1948, it has its headquarters at Geneva in Switzerland, and as of 2020, it has 194 member states. Okay, can you guys tell me that if you all are like keeping up with current trends and the news? Last year, President Trump had declared that he's severing all ties with WHO. So, do you know if USA is still a member of the WHO or not? Just unmute and tell me, because I can't read the chats right now. कोई मुझे बता सकता है if US अभी भी WHO का स्टेट है, मेंबर स्टेट है कि नहीं है? जल्दी. I don't want to waste time. Want to do a simple thing. Yes or no? पता है कि नहीं पता, और maybe something. Tell me something.
Yes, ma'am. Here.
अभी भी है, right? So in spite of President Trump saying that we are having nothing to do with WHO and we are not a member anymore, it still is a member state of WHO. So there are total 194 member states. This is a logo of WHO. Hopefully everybody knows that. Now, what are the responsibilities of WHO? It definitely deals with all the health matters globally, and it is responsible for setting up norms and standards with respect to nutrition, diet, and regarding food security, regarding vaccinations, medicines, drugs that need to be given to different age groups of the population. Okay? Secondly, it is also concerned with research. Now, research in what case? Research in the sense of coming up with different programs, health programs, vaccination programs, treatment programs. So it is responsible for setting up and developing research, supporting research in these cases, especially in priority areas where health management is not at par. Okay, especially in underdeveloped countries or in developing countries, jahan pe health is not given that much priority by the government of that country because they're still developing. ठीक है, तो उनके पास उतना मॉनेटरी सपोर्ट भी नहीं है, ना उनके पास उतना रिसर्च के लिए सपोर्ट है कि वो लोग खुद से उनके कंट्री का हेल्थ को ग्रो करे. तो WHO क्या करता है? इट विल कोलैबोरेट विद डिफरेंट हेल्थ एजेंसीज, लाइक there is UNESCO, then it will be in collaboration with United Nations, and it will come up with different strategies to develop and promote research in priority areas. ठीक है? Next is monitoring and assessing health trends. Now, the most common example throughout the session is going to be COVID-19. Okay? So, before COVID-19 happened, there were many programs and there were many things WHO was managing, but people were really not aware of how things actually work. But ever since COVID-19 happened and the pandemic took place, and the entire world was in a lockdown, we actually got to know WHO कैसे monitor करता है. It collects, वो हर country से data collect करेगा, है ना? COVID-19 के strain का भी different दो अलग strains उनको मिले हैं UK में, है ना? So that's how they monitor हर country जो भी उनके member states है या अभी member states नहीं भी है, they are in constant contact with the authorities, health authorities of those countries. उनसे वो लोग constantly data collect करेंगे, उनको assess करेंगे कि कैसा trend अभी उनका चल रहा है. If you keep COVID-19 apart for a moment, और भी काफी सारे diseases है जिसके बारे में WHO will constantly keep monitoring. अभी सबका ध्यान COVID-19 पर है ना? Because अभी तक उसका वैक्सीन निकला नहीं है. I mean, it is coming to the market, but it's not yet administered to the population. So कैसे है कि COVID-19 को अलग रखेंगे तो और भी diseases और जो भी हाँ diseases है, disorders है, उस सबका भी WHO को simultaneously ध्यान रखना पड़ता है कि if COVID-19 is rising, are there any other health issues that are coming up, like obesity is come up now, then there are cardiac disorders, which are coming up because people have been in lockdown and majority of the population have not been exercising, have not been working out, getting obese and leading to different disorders. So what WHO का main काम क्या होता है कि it will keep in contact with different authorities of the government of the countries, and they will keep monitoring the different health trends that are occurring in the different regions of the world. Okay, so far is it clear? यहाँ तक clear है? Okay, I hope कि English Hindi mix है तो कुछ issue नहीं है, because I don't want to keep just one language. Okay, in case some do not follow or have difficulty following. Fine, moving on. Now, what are WHO guidelines? WHO guideline is any document which is developed by WHO containing recommendations for clinical practice or public health policy. For example, WHO guidelines for COVID-19. Now, if you go to the website of WHO and you type, or just Google Pay or a search engine, you go and type WHO guidelines for COVID-19, they will redirect you to the page of WHO, and there are n number of guidelines of how to deal with COVID-19. You know, including gatherings, including wearing your mask, including how to deal if you're diagnosed, everything. अलग अलग टाइप्स के गाइडलाइंस दिए हुए हैं. So I mean उनकी वेबसाइट पर for COVID-19, but just not for COVID-19, for n number of things, like for example dengue fever है, then it could be like TB है, HIV है, AIDS है, ठीक है, sexually transmitted diseases, all guidelines for different things, name it, they have it, okay, related to diseases. So it is any document which is always developed only by WHO. For what? For giving up recommendations or suggestions on how to deal or what you should do in certain situations. Okay? So a recommendation will tell the user of the guideline what he or she can or should do in specific situations to achieve the best health outcomes. यानी कि अगर मैंने suppose ये मेरा guideline है on how to deal with COVID-19, ठीक है, and the title given is masks, okay, how I should be wearing the masks. So उन्होंने ऐसा guideline सब दिया हुआ है मुझे. So when I read the guideline, okay, I'm the user. So if I'm reading the guideline, उन्होंने mention किया है कि I should wear the mask on my nose and not below it. If I want to sneeze, I should sneeze inside the mask. Okay, I'm just giving an example. So when I read that, I can understand कि how should what should I do or what I can do to achieve the best health outcomes. If I wear my mask when I'm in public or in gatherings, when I'm going out, if I wear my mask, there are less chances of me contracting the strain, right? If I want to sneeze, instead of putting my mask down and sneezing, the chances of me spreading even viral cold to people will reduce. Okay? Thus helping the user to make informed decisions. This example was just in relation to COVID-19, but there are so many guidelines that you can, in free time, you can definitely go and you can check it out on their website. Okay, I may have put it in the down in the notes section also, just for you to see if in case you are interested. Now, why does WHO develop guidelines? जरूरत ही क्या है WHO को guidelines develop करने की? So it will develop guidelines whenever the member states, the WHO, country offices, or external experts or other stakeholders, they ask for guidance on a clinical or public health problem or policy area. अभी जब COVID-19 आया, okay, from Wuhan it spread all over the world. People did not know the government, the health officers, the people, they did not know how to react to the situation or what to do. Is it communicable through air? Is it communicable through, is it an STD? Or can it be transmitted through animals, your pet animals, through birds, through food, through water? What exactly? So what happened is all the countries started asking WHO what to do, how to manage it, how do we react in this situation, क्या करे क्या नहीं करे. So what WHO did must have done is first they would have assessed the situation, है ना, कहाँ से आया, कैसे आया, क्यों आया, कि किसको affect exactly कर रहा है, and then in a month or two they come up with the guidelines telling you that how you should be facing the situation and managing it, right? WHO gave n number of recommendations to all the countries depending on how their population is reacting to the particular strain. So what WHO did is they will give them a document कि भाई ऐसे ऐसे करना है, तुम्हारी कंट्री में ऐसे ऐसे है, so you follow these guidelines in order to prevent people from getting infected from the strain. ठीक है? This generally happens when they are uncertain about what to do or how to choose among a range of potential policies or interventions. COVID-19 हुआ, population में बहुत से लोगों को COVID-19 हुआ, but doctors don't know what medicine to administer or what kind of an injection or what kind of tablet to administer, so that the people do not end up dying or something. So that also is one of the aspects where WHO will come up with certain guidelines for a certain reason. Okay, Vikas, thanks for I don't know annotating it or whatever. ठीक है. So far is it clear? अब तक मैंने जो भी तुमको बोला वो समझ रहा है तुम लोगों की नहीं समझ रहा है? You guys are understanding, right? When I'm giving you examples.
Yes.
Okay, ठीक है. Wherever you don't understand, just stop and ask me. ठीक है, ऐसे नहीं होना चाहिए कि I'm just talking और किसी को समझ ही नहीं रहा है. Fine. Moving on. Now, what are the objectives of coming up with these WHO guidelines or with these guidelines? Is to reduce the health, social, and economic burden on the countries. ठीक है? When an epidemic also occurs, what happens is कि definitely population पे तो effect होगा ही. Population पे effect होगा तो लोग काम नहीं कर पाते हैं. So it affects the social as well as the economic burden on the countries, because people are not able to work, the economy starts falling down, right? So to reduce health, social and economic burden on the countries. Next is to combat the deadly, communicable and the sexually transmitted diseases. For example, HIV, AIDS, malaria and TB. So we all know, we are very much aware that these diseases are very, very much deadly, right? People contract it and in some years they tend to die, and people do not have the knowledge that they have contracted these diseases and end up spreading them to other people as well. So to combat these diseases, the guidelines are required. If you go to WHO's website and you type for or just Google search it, that guidelines for HIV AIDS, you will get an entire PDF stating how to manage, what to do, the diagnosis, everything. Okay. Next is to reduce morbidity, mortality, and improve health. What do you mean by morbidity? Can anyone tell me morbidity का मतलब क्या होता है और mortality का मतलब क्या होता है? Anyone? I want it to be a little interactive session. बहुत monotonous हो जाएगा, तुम लोग सो जाओगे. It being the first lecture. I don't want that. Anyone, just unmute and just tell me morbidity या mortality का मतलब. Chat box में डालोगे?
Mortality is death.
Yes.
Morbidity पता नहीं. Mortality is death.
Mortality is death. You're right. Divya, right? Divya ने बोला.
Yes.
Yes, Divya, you're right. Mortality is death. Morbidity is the condition or a state of the disease. ठीक है? For example, Someone is diagnosed with diabetes. So is it a type 1 diabetes? Which stage? Type 2 diabetes? Which stage? It is your morbidity. And to improve health. Next is to ensure access to improved quality and use of medicinal products and advanced technology. So another objective of coming up with guidelines is to so that the member states, the countries are having access to good quality of medicinal products, be it your tablets, different formulations. नाम ने सीखा होगा, right? Be it tablets, be it capsules, be it your liquid formulations, parenterals, or it could be your aerosols which you inhale through your nose. It could be anything. So all the access to improved quality of medicinal products and advanced technology. Advanced technology in the terms of diagnostic techniques. Okay? There are n number of diagnostic techniques for a thing or a particular disease or a condition which may have occurred many years ago, right? But you cannot go with very simple or basic diagnostic techniques which will take a lot of time. I would rather go for a diagnostic technique जो मुझे फटाक से या एक ही दिन में या maybe 2 hours में मुझे result दे दे कि whether I have the disease or the condition or not. So advanced technology in that aspect. Okay. Next is to improve nutrition, food safety, and food security, especially in underdeveloped countries and in certain developing countries where still malnutrition is a major issue. Okay, if you take Syria or you take you take Israel, you take Iran, Iraq, these countries which are underdeveloped and they are still developing also, but they still do not have access to good amount of food, okay, or nutritious food as a matter of fact. So WHO tries to come up with guidelines, research projects, programs, so that the people, the population there as well have access to good food. Then there is food safety, that the food that they consume is also safe. It is not loaded with contaminants which will ultimately reduce the lifespan and lead to death. And food security in terms of what happens is sometimes we know how things work. um, the particular food packets are supposed to go to a certain place but they end up going somewhere else. Okay, so there are guidelines for that as well. So these are the few objectives that I have listed. There are many more objectives, but these are just a few and very simple ones. Now, types of WHO guidelines. कितने types के हैं? There are around 5 types. Okay. The first is rapid advice guidelines. I'm just going to give you a gist of what, and then we're going to go in detail of every guideline. So, rapid advice guidelines are basically given in response to health emergencies. Since the name suggests rapid advice guidelines. Next is standard guidelines. These guidelines are basically for guidance. So they are just standard guidelines which you have to follow. Next is full guidelines, which will basically cover the entire health aspect. Next is compilations of guidelines. So it's like current recommendations data hai WHO for certain things. So sabka compilation. Next is WHO pharma guidelines, which is basically a little mainstream for us because we are very much inclined towards the pharma industry. Under WHO pharma guidelines, I have enlisted a few. Like first is development guidelines. Next is inspection guidelines, production guidelines, and QC guidelines. Okay, we'll be seeing each of them in little detail. The first one is rapid advice guidelines. So like I had said, it is produced in response to public health emergencies to provide global leadership and guidance. For example, pandemics, right? So if you take an example of influenza pandemic, when the pandemic occurred, people did not know how to react to it. Even if you take COVID-19 pandemic, the countries, the people did not know कि भाई ये exactly है क्या. Like I said earlier also, people were not aware that how is it being contracted? Is it communicable via animals, through air, water, food? Is it an STD? People were not aware of it. So WHO, like I said, WHO came up with the guidelines for this as well. how to manage and prevent it from getting to the entire population. So the guidelines, the rapid advice guidelines, will come in response to public health emergencies. So how it works, it will collect, analyze the data on occurrence of the disease or the strain responsible around the world. Okay, like I had said earlier also, WHO will get in contact with different authorities of the different countries of the world, and they will collect the data, analyze it, किधर से आया, कहाँ से आया, कब आया. They will go to the root of the strain, and they will सब उसका fingerprinting वगैरह करेंगे, and then they will come up with the information regarding it. They will provide the information to the health authorities of the countries first, then they will expose it to the media, and then they will put it for the general public on their website, and they will give all the recommendations that can be taken or can be followed. Okay, next advice is the standard guideline. I mean, next guideline is the standard guidelines produced in response to a request for guidance in relation to change in practice in single clinical or a policy area. Like for example, a country is facing certain situation. Like I have given an example of postpartum hemorrhage. Certain countries, or for example, any country, take a country A, they are facing the issue of postpartum hemorrhage, where the woman after she delivers is suffering from a hemorrhage and she dies. Okay, so that country will approach WHO and will request for a guidance, that you give us certain guidelines on how we can prevent it. So WHO will come up with certain recommendations, and they will tell them that this can be done to prevent it, and or maybe to treat it. So it is not expected to cover all the health problems, like it's already stated. It will just ask for guidance in a particular area. Like example, treatment of postpartum hemorrhage, where WHO gave 32 recommendations in 2012 for prevention and treatment of postpartum hemorrhage. All right. I hope the difference between the two guidelines is pretty clear. It is pretty self-explanatory as well. All right. Next is full guidelines. It provides complete coverage for health topic or diseases. It includes recommendations for surveillance, diagnosis, public health, and interventions. For example, guidelines for dengue fever. Yes, if you go to Google and you search WHO guidelines for dengue fever, you will get an entire PDF which will state everything, like how do you diagnose it, how do you prevent it from spreading, or what kind of uh, you know क्या बोलता है, तुम क्या precautions ले सकते हो कि वो dengue fever ना हो. Okay, so it is expected that a particular disease, the entire disease is covered. Complete coverage is taken up in that particular disease. It's not only for dengue fever, there are many diseases for which WHO has given guidelines or recommendations. Next is compilations of guidelines. Contains current recommendations from WHO and other sources. Example, all recommendations regarding COVID-19. It will have all the recommendations with respect to COVID-19. Like there is a section for only masks, only for mass gatherings. Then for technical support. Then travel advices regarding how to travel or what not or not to travel, with respect to lockdown, with respect to training and exercising, because people end up like just sleeping, eating, and eat, sleep, repeat at home. So training and working out and exercising. Then regarding donors, okay, people who are able to, who should donate blood or their organs and everything. So that is a compilation of guidelines. Next is WHO pharma guidelines, where we are already mainstream towards it. The first kind is, or type is, the development guidelines. As the name suggests, to develop or to come up with something. उसमें पहला है development of multi-source or a generic finished pharmaceutical products intended to be bioequivalent to relevant comparator products. Okay, this is something very new for you guys. So I hope you know the difference between, you know what a generic medicine is, or बहुत अभी popular हो गया है generic medical stores. I don't know if you have heard about it or if you have ever consumed generic medicines. किसने खाया है generic medicines या generic medical गए हैं या पता है? Anyone?
हाँ मैम पता है.
हाँ, तो क्या होता है? What do you think generic medicine is?
एक्चुअली वो जो मेन ब्रांड वाले कंपनीज होते हैं ना, लाइक सिप्ला एंड ऑल, उसका मतलब सेम फॉर्मेशन, मतलब सेम प्रोडक्ट्स, मतलब सेम मटेरियल होता है उसके अंदर, बट कंपनी का नाम दूसरा रहता है और वो इंडियन कंपनीज होती है, नॉर्मल कंपनीज होती है.
Right, pretty much correct. Chirag, pretty much correct. So what exactly क्या होता है ना generics में, उसका cost भी बहुत कम रहता है comparatively. If you check, if you actually buy Savlon with the branding of Savlon, and if you go to a generic store and ask them for Savlon, they will give you the same colored formulation, but उस पे Savlon नहीं लिखा रहता, कुछ और ही लिखा रहता है. It does not mean कि ये copy है या it is a fake or first copy, second copy जो brands का होता है. It is not that. They are bioequivalent, which means that okay, let's not talk about Savlon. I'll take a proper drug, paracetamol, है ना? It's your API. If it goes with a brand name, say Crocin, and you have another generic brand, okay, generic a tablet which also has paracetamol as an API in it. It's a painkiller, right? So my Crocin is a little expensive, say like 25-30 rupees. I'm not sure exactly. So 30 rupees. And your generic one is say like 15-16 rupees. Okay. There's a cost difference, but they both are said to be bioequivalent, which will mean they have the same kind of API. They may have different kind of excipients, but they are bioequivalent, which will mean कि उनका जो effect हो रहा है वो same to same है. Okay, it is the same. So even if I take Crocin for as a painkiller, or I take my generic as a painkiller, it's going to have the same effect on my body. ठीक है, मेरा जो pain है वो कम हो जाएगा या और it is going to just vanish. All right, so that is what bioequivalent means. तुम लोग को BA BE है, maybe I think in the next sem. I am not exactly sure. So maybe जब तुम लोग BA BE पढ़ोगे, like bio availability and bioequivalence, जो कि दांजलि मैम लेंगे, so maybe that time the concept will be much more clear. But just for now, just know that bioequivalent means कि उन दोनों का जो effect है, जो defined effect है, like to reduce the pain, is the same for both your branded as well as your generic pharmaceutical product. Okay, so WHO also has guidelines to come up or produce or develop your generic pharmaceutical products. Next is development of pediatric medicines. Points to consider in formulation. Adjusted dose should contain API adjusted to age and needs of the child. Pediatric medicines मतलब pediatrician पता है ना क्या होते हैं, जो बच्चों के डॉक्टर्स होते हैं, they are your pediatricians. So they do not give you the same, they do not give the children the same kind of dosage dose जो adults को देते हैं, right? They cannot give 500 mg antibiotic to a child. बराबर देते हैं क्या कभी? हाँ कि ना? No, right? Because it is going to have a very different effect on the child system than it will have on an adult system. Right? So that is why there are guidelines given to pediatrician as well, that how they should be adjusting the dosage in terms of antibiotics or painkillers or any kind of formulations that they want to give the children. But the only criteria here is that the API should also be adjusted in the same way that the child gets the API for that particular condition. Okay, API क्या होता है?
Active pharmaceutical ingredients.
Sorry, थोड़ा सा जोर से बोलो.
Active pharmaceutical ingredients.
Right, active pharmaceutical ingredient. Right, that is your API. इतना clear है development guidelines?
Yes ma'am.
All right. Moving on to the second kind, that is your inspection guidelines. Inspection का मतलब क्या होता है? तुम लोग जब स्कूल में थे तो कभी inspection हुआ है? Can anyone tell me what inspection means? जल्दी बोलो.
Checking.
right,
इंस्पेक्ट
checking,
करना.
right, checking or very close examination or scrutiny, that is what your inspection is. ठीक है, तो inspections are a part of overall drug QA systems, that is your quality assurance systems. QA QC हमारा नेक्स्ट यूनिट है, तो डेप्थ में मैं तब तुमको समझाऊंगी कि QA एंड QC क्या होता है. For now, QA means quality assurance, wherein any product which comes in the market, not just pharmaceutical, but whatever products you get, vessels होता है, containers होते हैं, anything, your book, pen, whatever product comes in the market, it undergoes QA and QC. As far as drug QA is concerned or drug quality assurance is concerned, QA का क्या काम रहता है? They have to assure that the product doesn't have any defect. ठीक है, उसमें कुछ भी इशू नहीं है. अगर you take a tablet, it shouldn't be broken, it shouldn't have creases या cracks नहीं होने चाहिए कि भाई तुम open करते ही वो टूटा हुआ रहे. It's a defect, right? In your tablet. So it will prevent any kind of defect. The system will prevent any defects coming up in your product. If not your drug, say your not your solid dosage, say your liquid formulations, cough syrup हो गया, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि उसका जो API है या उसकी जो excipients है, जो भी कंटेंट है उसमें, वो नीचे बॉटल के सेटल हो रहा है. बराबर, थोड़ा बहुत तो होता है, ऐसे टू शेक एंड यूज इट, बट ऐसा नहीं कि भाई पूरा सेपरेट ही हो गया, दो फेजेस में वो सेपरेट हो गया, ऐसे नहीं होना चाहिए. सो QA का काम क्या होता है? इट विल प्रिवेंट एनी डिफेक्ट्स, और अगर तुम्हारे प्रोडक्ट में डिफेक्ट है तो QA विल एंश्योर कि वो प्रोडक्ट तुम्हारे मार्केट में ना जाए. ऑलराइट, सो इंस्पेक्शंस QA QC में ही आते हैं. इट्स अ पार्ट ऑफ द QA सिस्टम. Now, what is the objective of inspecting a pharmaceutical manufacturing facility? It is to either enforce GMP compliance, that is your good manufacturing practices, or to provide authorization for manufacturing of a specific pharmaceutical product. Now, इसका मतलब क्या होता है? जब एक pharmaceutical company होती है, right? It is a manufacturing company. It is going to manufacture maybe just one kind of a drug or a medicine और n नंबर. ठीक है, तो इंस्पेक्टर्स जो होते हैं वो लोग क्या करेंगे? दे विल गो एंड चेक द मैन्युफैक्चरिंग फैसिलिटी. वो जो प्लांट होता है उसमें n नंबर ऑफ डिपार्टमेंट्स होते हैं. कहीं पे रॉ मटेरियल का सीविंग होता है, कहीं पे वो लोग रॉ मटेरियल को गैदर करेंगे, कहीं पे उसको होल्ड करेंगे, फिर कहीं पे उसका एक्चुअली मिक्सिंग होता है, क्रशिंग होता है, बाइंडिंग होता है, एक्सिपिएंट्स का अलग होता है, API का अलग होता है. फिर एक डिपार्टमेंट में वो सबको मिक्स करेंगे, है ना, उसको सब बाइंडर्स डालेंगे. फिर एक डिपार्टमेंट में दे विल एक्चुअली गेट द शेप, मे बी अ कैप्सूल. अगर कैप्सूल है तो जेलेटिन कैप्सूल में उसको फिल करेंगे. टैबलेट है तो उसका प्रेसिंग होगा, फिर उसको रखेंगे. ऑल n नंबर ऑफ डिपार्टमेंट्स आर इंस्पेक्टेड. ठीक है, दे विल चेक कि भाई क्लीनलीनेस है, उसके भी गाइडलाइंस होते हैं जो फार्मास्यूटिकल मैन्युफैक्चरर को कंप्लाई करना पड़ता है. दैट इज योर GMP, ओके, गुड मैन्युफैक्चरिंग प्रैक्टिसेस. ये भी आगे जाके हम पढ़ने वाले हैं in depth. Okay, GMP, good manufacturing practices. So a manufacturer has to follow the GMP guidelines in order to produce or manufacture the pharmaceutical products. अगर उनको ऐसे इंस्पेक्टर्स को लगता है कि भाई कुछ तो यहाँ पर something is wrong over here, so they will give them a certificate or recommendation or suggestion saying that you need to change these things and comply with GMP because ये compliance नहीं हो रहा है. Or to provide authorization for manufacturing of specific pharmaceutical product. For example, मेरा नया मैंने एक pharmaceutical company start कर दी, okay, and मैंने ऐसे application दिया है कि मैं RX drugs बनाऊंगी. Anyone knows what are RX drugs? किसी को पता है RX drugs क्या होता है?
RX means to take.
To take what? उतना ही है कि you want to say something else? All right. So अगर तुमने कभी there are say OTC, over the counter drugs, and there are RX drugs. So over the counter drugs are like Crocin, कि भाई मेडिकल में गए, भैया सर दर्द हो रहा है, एक कोई पेन किलर दे दो तो he'll just give you Crocin, ठीक है. But RX drugs are those drugs which the medical guy has to give you only on a prescription of a doctor, ठीक है. For example, there are psychotic drugs जो तुमको एक prescription देने पर ही तुमको वो ड्रग्स मिलेंगे. तो इफ यू चेक एनी टाइम, वो टैबलेट के पीछे जो पैकिंग है पीछे उस पे आर, कैपिटल आर और आर के नीचे थोड़ा सा ऐसा एक्स लिखा हुआ है. सो RX ड्रग्स आर दोज ड्रग्स व्हिच आर गिवन ओनली ऑन प्रिस्क्रिप्शन, ठीक है, वरना नहीं देंगे. तो क्योंकि उसके कंटेंट्स वैसे होते हैं. सो इफ आई वांट टू स्टार्ट अप and I give an application to the licensing authorities कि मुझे RX drugs का manufacturing करना है. So I set up my plant, my unit and everything. So the inspectors will come and they will inspect कि am I complying with GMP, यहाँ पर ऐसे मतलब zones है क्या बराबर से, ventilation है क्या, holding rooms है क्या जहाँ पे मैं tablet जब बनाऊं और उसको वहाँ रखूं packaging के पहले, वो सब ठीक है क्या, cleanliness है क्या, and they will check the history of the employees कि भाई किसी को drug abuse का तो history नहीं है, ये सब चीजें they will check. And then they will provide an authorization to my company or my manufacturing unit saying that okay, you can start with manufacturing of RX drugs. ठीक है, ये point समझा दोनों के बीच में जो difference है, why we are inspecting the pharmaceutical facilities. Yes ki no?
Yes.
All right. Next, the third point is monitoring the quality of pharmaceutical products in distribution channels from point of manufacture to delivery to the recipients to eliminate any hazard which is posed by infiltration of counterfeit drugs. Very important. Distribution channels जो होता है, अब मेरी एक manufacturing facility है, ठीक है, say it is placed at Pune. तो मैं डिस्ट्रीब्यूट सब जगह कर रही हूँ, स्पेशली मुंबई इज माय एरिया, ठीक है. मुंबई में n नंबर ऑफ मेडिकल्स है, राइट, जहाँ पे मैं मेरे RX ड्रग्स डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करने वाली हूँ. सो I need to not only me, there are other inspectors also or QA persons who have to actually monitor that the quality of my RX drugs which I am sending or I'm distributing to my different customers or my clients is of the actual or correct product or actual or good standard quality or not, ठीक है. कहीं टूट रहे टैबलेट्स, कहीं पे ऐसे ठीक से फॉर्मुलेशन नहीं हुआ है तो इट इज व्हेन एक्सपोज्ड टू एयर इट इज जस्ट मेल्टिंग ऑफ या और समथिंग लाइक दैट. So they will monitor, the inspection is also required to monitor the quality of the drug or that product that I'm distributing. Also, right, not just at my facility, but that formulation, the drug dosage form should remain the same way, right from my facility till it reaches your recipient. ठीक है. The next point which is mentioned is to eliminate hazard posed by infiltration of counterfeit drugs. It is very much possible कि counterfeit drugs क्या होता है, fake drugs होता है, right, जिसमें the said API is not present, ठीक है. copy drugs जो हम बोलते हैं, they are not generic drugs, they are copy drugs, they are not authorized by the drug licensing authorities, those are our counterfeit drugs. So it is very much possible कि ऐसा हो कि मैं मेरे RX drugs मेरे facility से तो निकले हैं, but वो मैं जहाँ पे उसको जाना चाहिए वहां नहीं जा रहा है, या वो वहां जा रहा है लेकिन मेरे जो RX drugs है वो पहुंच नहीं रहा है. In that place, some other fake or counterfeit drugs are reaching, and my actual RX drugs are being sold elsewhere, maybe to drug abusers or something like that. All right, that is where monitoring the quality of the pharmaceutical drug right from the facility to the recipient is important, ठीक है. ताकि ऐसा ना हो कि भाई 100 पैकेट्स में से 80 मेरे एक्चुअल ड्रग्स है और 20 मेरे counterfeit drugs. So that's where inspection guidelines are very important as far as pharmaceutical products are concerned. And it is not just about your RX drugs, it is also for your intravenous, which you give intravenously, the parenterals basically. The next one is, under the same inspection guidelines, there are guidelines for whole time studies. These are basically for non-sterile drug dosage forms. I hope you know the difference between sterile drugs, unsterile. I mean, the difference between sterile, unsterile, and non-sterile. Chemistry background के अगर जो है, अगर कोई है तो, if you do not know the difference between the three, ऐसे कोई है जिनको नहीं पता? अगर किसी को पता है तो you can share it with your classmates as well. Microbiotech के अगर कोई रहेंगे तो you all will know the difference, right, between sterile, unsterile, and non-sterile. So someone tell me the difference. जल्दी बोलो. Anybody? Anyone from microbiotech? कोई नहीं है, सब chemistry वाले है क्या? अरे बोलो. who माइक्रो वाले कौन है? बायोटेक का see, I'll know. Ultimate मुझे पता चल ही जाएगा. So just tell me ना, कौन है, कौन नहीं है. If you don't know, I'll at least tell you the meaning or the difference between the three. अरे बोलो.
Okay, sterile means free from microorganisms, okay? No
Yes.
contamination. Non-sterile means not free from microorganisms, like,
And unsterile?
I'm actually confused between non-sterile and unsterile because they are quite same. I think.
Yeah, almost. Right. You're right. So see,
Yeah.
when we talk about dosage drugs, when we talk about drugs, we know that there are sterile, non-sterile drugs. ठीक है? See, हम किसी चीज को unsterile कब बोलते हैं? For example, हमने अगर मीडिया बनाया है, ठीक है, and I want to plate, मुझे आइसोलेशन करना है किसी बैक्टीरिया का. ओके, फॉर एग्जांपल बैसिलस का मुझे आइसोलेशन करना है. सो आई प्रिपेयर माय प्लेट, माय अगार, माय प्लेट, and for the time being, till the lid is on the plate, it is sterile. As soon as I open it and just expose it, it becomes unsterile. But if I talk about my ingredients of my media, they are all unsterile. I mean, they're not sterile basically. They're not sterilized at all. After I sterilize it and then I expose it, it becomes unsterile. But non-sterile क्या होता है? हमने तो कभी sterile नहीं किया, so those are non-sterile. And as far as drug dosage forms are concerned, your sterile formulations are going to be the ones that we're going to inject directly into the bloodstream. Your parenterals, they are all going to be sterile. We cannot use unsterile or non-sterile formulations, right? You cannot just inject any liquid inside. So especially medicines at least. And your non-sterile drugs are the tablets, the capsules, the chewable tablets which we just eat, okay, which you just consume through the mouth. Those are non-sterile drug dosage forms. So whole time studies are basically that period of time wherein after I make my tablet, actually make my tablet, उसका pressing वगैरह हो गया, उसका QC inspection हो गया है, QA inspection हो गया है, packaging बाकी है. तो the tablet is just exposed to the air, okay, and ऐसा एक tablet तो नहीं होता, बहुत सारे डग भर के tablets रहता है, or maybe they're all spread on a plate or something. So they are just going to be put in a room, time being, till they are packaged. For final packaging, they are going to be there. So the time limit for that, or the conditions of the room, that particular room where they are going to be held, those guidance are also given for that as well. So it is a period for which the materials, your final product, they will await final packaging and may be held under specified conditions and remain within their defined specifications. What does this mean? This means that अगर मेरा एक drug है, मेरा एक tablet है, और मैंने उसको पैकेजिंग के लिए भी 1-2 घंटे है, और मे बी अ डे, ठीक है, फॉर पैकेजिंग, बिकॉज बहुत सारा वर्कलोड है. सो आई विल जस्ट कीप इट इन अ रूम, ठीक है, I'll keep those tablets in a room away from packaging. My tablets, or the tablets that are made, they should remain in the defined specifications until they are packaged, which will mean that उनका जो भी स्पेसिफिकेशन, हर ड्रग का स्पेसिफिकेशन रहता है, हर फॉर्मुलेशन का एक स्पेसिफिकेशन रहता है, solid है तो it should remain in solid till it comes from the manufacturing facility, till the recipient is consuming it. ठीक है, it has to remain in the solid form. If it's a liquid, ठीक है, for example injection है तो वो liquid में ही रहना चाहिए. It shouldn't ऐसा liquefy नहीं होना चाहिए, मतलब it shouldn't come somewhere between solid and liquid. या तो उसमें जो particles हमने या जो भी API है उसका जब मैंने उसको मिक्स करके उसको रखा वो सेटल हो रहा है, वैसे भी नहीं होना चाहिए as far as injections are concerned. कफ सिरप्स में हो सकता है कि वो थोड़ा सा सेटल हो जाए, है ना, बट इतना फेज में डिफरेंस नहीं होना चाहिए. So they should remain within their defined specifications right from the time of manufacturing until it reaches the final packaging as well as it reaches the final recipient or the patient who's actually consuming your formulation. Okay, that is the meaning for this second point. Next is guidelines for drafting a site master file. It aims to guide the manufacture and preparation of a SMF, that is your short form for site master file. It is useful to regulatory authority in planning and conducting GMP inspections. So basically, WHO also gives guidelines on how to come up with your master file first. See, मैं ऐसे उठ के एप्लीकेशन नहीं दे सकती लाइसेंसिंग अथॉरिटी को कि भाई मुझे ये प्लॉट पे आई वांट टू स्टार्ट अ मैन्युफैक्चरिंग यूनिट. आई कैन नॉट डू दैट. आई नीड टू कम अप विद अ फाइल, अ मास्टर फाइल व्हिच विल हैव माय मास्टर प्लान ऑन हाउ डू आई मेक अप और सेट अप माय फैसिलिटी. उसमें क्या क्या डिपार्टमेंट्स होंगे, कैसे होगा वेंटिलेशन, एवरीथिंग, वर्किंग स्टेशन कैसे होगा, everything. It needs to have all the details, right from where I'll keep my raw material right up to my packaging unit. It has to have everything. Also disposal, water use होता है, बाकी के जो raw materials रह जाते हैं या defected जो मेरे tablets या formulations निकलते हैं उसका जो disposal है वो तक मेरी master file में आना चाहिए. तो guidelines are provided for that as well to prepare a master file, your site master file. So that file will always remain with the manufacturer, and whenever a licensing authority or a regulatory authority comes for GMP inspections or any kind of inspection, they are able to refer that site master file and see whether you are complying with it or not. Okay, that is your guidelines for drafting a site master file. Next is inspection of drug distribution channels. It ensures protection of patients and members from malpractice by suppliers and distributors. मतलब कि ये जो point हमने पहले भी discuss किया हुआ है, it will ensure that the guidelines are given for this as well कि भाई drug जो है मेरी facility से, manufacturing facility से suppliers, distributors तक वही product quality का पहुंच रहा है कि नहीं, उसका इंस्पेक्शन भी किया जाता है. ऑलराइट, हैंग हो गया क्या? Okay, next is production guidelines. So far we were talking about what kind of guidelines. We were talking about inspection guidelines. Okay, the first guideline under WHO that we spoke was development guidelines. The second one we spoke was about inspection, and the third is your production guidelines. GMP is that part of QA which ensures that products are consistently produced and controlled to the quality standards appropriate to their intended use and as required by the marketing authorization. So मैं जब एक drug produce करती हूँ, I have to follow certain guidelines which will ensure that my product is consistent, ठीक है, in all the batches, and it is of the same standard of which will be at par in the market, okay, and is of the particular quality for the actual use or the intended use, and which is also required by the marketing authorization. मतलब इसका मतलब बेसिकली क्या है कि अगर मैं कुछ ड्रग प्रोड्यूस कर रही हूँ मार्केट में, से मैं क्रोसिन प्रोड्यूस कर रही हूँ, तो गाइडलाइंस होते हैं कि मैं एक्सिपिएंट कब डालूं, एपीआई कब डालूं, कितना टाइम मिक्स करूं, उसको कहाँ रखूं, उसको कैसे प्रेस करूं, उसको बाइंडिंग कैसे करूं. ये सारे गाइडलाइंस दिए होते हैं, क्या टेस्ट्स मैं कैरी आउट करूँ कि मैं उसको इंश्योर करूँ कि वो एग्जैक्ट क्वालिटी का है या कंसिस्टेंट है सब बैचेस में. So that is where GMP plays a role. Okay. Above all, manufacturers must not place patients at risk due to inadequate safety, quality or efficacy. मतलब कि मैं एक manufacturer हूँ, right? I have to comply with GMP when I'm producing my pharmaceutical product because ultimately the end user is a patient. It is a human being. It could also be an animal. So I shouldn't do any kind of malpractice or थोड़ा 19-20 नहीं करना चाहिए मुझे, जिससे कि मेरे टैबलेट का या मेरे प्रोडक्ट का, फार्मास्यूटिकल प्रोडक्ट की सेफ्टी कम हो जाती है, उसकी क्वालिटी खराब हो जाती है, या उसका जो एफिकासी है, एफिकासी का मतलब क्या होता है कि जो ड्रग का एक्चुअल काम है वो कर रहा है कि नहीं. अगर मैंने ऐसे कर लिया, मैंने एक बैच बना लिया जिसमें एक्सिपिएंट ज्यादा गिर गया और एपीआई कम गिर गया, ठीक है, तो मैं ऐसे उसको नहीं कर सकती कि हाँ चलो ठीक है कुछ नहीं होता है, वो काम कर लेगा, और मैंने उसका एक तो सेफ्टी भी चला गया. इट इज वेरी मच पॉसिबल कि जो एक्सिपिएंट मैंने डाला है वो ह्यूमन सिस्टम के लिए या एनिमल सिस्टम के लिए टॉक्सिक हो जाए, ओके, या कुछ साइड इफेक्ट या एडवर्स इफेक्ट दे दे. जो उसका इंटेंडेड पर्पस है वो करेगा ही नहीं, इट विल डू समथिंग एल्स. So if I do something like that कि excipient is more and my API is less, मेरी सेफ्टी टैबलेट की भी चली गई, क्वालिटी तो खराब ही हो गई, एंड एफिकासी भी नहीं है, because it is not going to do the intended work, right? So I'm going to put my patient or my recipients at risk. So it should not happen that way. So ऐसा ना हो इसके लिए क्या होता है, risk assessment comes to play an important role in WHO quality assurance guidelines. So again, WHO gives QA guidelines to ensure that the manufacturer doesn't do such things which will put the patient or the end user at risk of any kind. ठीक है, that comes under the GMP, comes under the production guidelines. तो उसमें क्या क्या guidelines है? WHO guidelines for pharmaceutical products, WHO GMP for sterile pharma products, WHO GMP for biological products, for herbal products, for heating, ventilation and air conditioning systems for non-sterile pharma dosage form. So ये n number of guidelines WHO देता है हर product के लिए. मैंने थोड़ी बहुत ही तुम लोग को mention की है because there are many. So I thought just these few are only sufficient for you guys. Lastly, we'll talk about QC guidelines. QC is your quality control, which will basically identify any defects in your drug product. ठीक है, QA क्या करता है, QA प्रिवेंट करेगा कि वो अगर कोई डिफेक्टेड प्रोडक्ट है वो मार्केट में ना जाए, और QC क्या करेगा, अगर प्रोडक्ट में डिफेक्ट है तो वो उसको आइडेंटिफाई करेगा. So there are n number of screening tests the drug and different formulations have to undergo. There are basic tests which are conducted on drugs and different dosage forms, which again we will be seeing in detail, probably in the third subunit or something like that. ठीक है, तो बहुत सारे ऐसे main common tests होते हैं which are conducted to ensure that the tablet is of the standard quality. ठीक है, and that all comes under the quality control guidelines of WHO.